Dracaris, welcome to the amazing, phenomenal, fantastic world of the Cinestro Core. I'm your boy Blacksby, and today we are talking about the one, the only, the best show on TV right now, House of the Dragon on what's it, Max? HBO?
HBO.
I forget
it's on
these
HBO.
names.
It's
I forget these names.
Yeah.
Zaslav dumbass changed it 5 times, so I don't know what it is anymore. HBO Max, whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it nowadays. Anyways, House of the Dragon, banger of a show. Let's talk about it. We are 4 episodes into the new season, and I have no quarrels, no negative comments, no gripes, except for I hope Aegon bitch ass is dead. I'm a number one Aegon hater. Hashtag Team Rhaenyra. Hashtag RIP my real
Rhaenys.
Rhaenys. If you haven't seen it by now, by the way, let me give you the spoiler alert right now. If you haven't seen it at this point, be aware you're about to get hella spoilers because we don't care. Let's get right into it. So, recap of season 1: Viserys, king of Westeros. First of his first of his name. King of the Andals, protector of the whatever the hell else titles he gave himself. Or he
the Rhoynar and the first.
The Rhoynar, all that shit. I don't know. I ain't no Westerosi. I don't know none of that. I'm from Houston. So Viserys is the king. He has no sons. He's got daughters. Sucks to suck. Can't have no boys. Hate that.
With he only has one daughter with Emma.
That's right. The other ones died. All the other babies were miscarried or stillbirth or anything tragic related to childbirth. Issue. It's really unfortunate. Yeah. That's what happens when you're inbreeding, honestly.
Anyways, this is gonna get way too long if we go beat by beat like this. Anyway, Rhaenyra basically
go ahead.
Rhaenyra vies for the throne. He appoints Rhaenyra his heir, but obviously, like all good societies, they're incredibly sexist and misogynistic. So people aren't fucking with the fact that there's gonna be a queen successor. Viserys gets sick. He starts falling apart. In the meantime, he marries Rhaenyra's best friend from childhood. They have kids. Her father is hand to the king, so he's manipulating everything to try to put his, grandchildren in power. So he's like manipulating behind the scenes, Otto Hightower. And so when Viserys ultimately dies, Rhaenyra is supposed to take the throne, but they've done this whole scheme and plan to put Aegon, his firstborn son, on the throne. So he's a usurper king. Rhaenyra is then kind of like, thrown for a loop, and that's where season 1 ends, essentially. There's a lot more shit, action, and, romance, and a lot of, like, interpersonal relationships. But if you're watching this, you've already seen season 1, it doesn't really matter.
I gotta say,
Thrones knower, you know how it goes in Westeros. Everybody's loving on everybody. It don't matter if you're your cousin, brother, sister, whoever you are.
It's a little gross. Dynamics, it's a little nasty.
It's a good story. Go ahead, AZ.
I probably am like the most virgin to Game of Thrones and like the whole concept of like everything.
Gerardo hasn't even seen it. You at least watch this show.
I watched like 4 episodes, dude. I didn't watch that much. I dropped it because I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot.
I thought you had finished it. I thought you were on season 2.
I did.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. I thought you were talking about the Dragons.
No. I just mean like the world of Game of Thrones, like the lore. I'm relatively new to it, so going from like watching the first episode of the original show, right, where it's just like it's like a night and day difference, right? Like Game of Thrones, that first episode didn't really grab my attention. I was just like, okay, that's interesting, I guess, and then I dropped it, right? Yeah. And then I came back for a couple more episodes, and I was like, no, it's still not for me. It's still not for me. It's just a lot of talking, a lot of yip yap, right? Granted, I was a teenager, and I didn't know what good entertainment was, but I've since gone back and tried to rewatch it, and I can't do it. And then I got to House of the Dragon. If you remember a few episodes ago, Luis, I was talking so much shit on it. I think it was our summer premieres. Yeah.
It was upcoming summer shows.
Yeah, and I was like, House of the Dragon, who gives a fuck about that? That shit's ass. I didn't even see it. It's probably dog shit.
Bro. I was fine for my life.
Yeah, dude. And then I literally about like the next day, I just went late at night, need something to fall asleep to. I watched it, and then by the time that I went to sleep, it was like 6 a.m. and I had watched like almost the entire season. It was fucking incredible. It grabs you much more than Thrones. Like it feels like even small aspects, like as far things as simple as like the nudity in it, right? The nudity seems more tasteful in a way.
Boo,
right?
bring back sicko shit. Bring back disrespectful nudity in
because
shows.
the characters are actually grabbing my attention. I'm captivated on the story. I don't have to have a dick or a pair of tits to be like, oh, cinema. Like, I don't have to do that. I don't have fucking jangling keys in my face, right? And it makes the politics interesting to where you see a bunch of people sitting around the table just talking about shit because you feel the tension. You feel that atmosphere. You feel like immersed in this world from the first episode, wanting to see these characters succeed and at some points die in a horrible fashion. And I really like that. That was my opening thought, though.
Yeah.
Solid.
No, that's good. That's good. I know it's really that's the main thing is we put AZ on. I know he was really anti House of the Dragon, and so to see your turnaround is really interesting, and I think just speaks to the show itself. The fact you could have somebody who was like a notorious like Game of Thrones, just kind of like not enjoyer, and be like, nah, you know, House of the Dragon must be dog shit as well, and to have you kind of turn around and be like, actually, this is really interesting. This is pretty cool, and just have like find little things that you enjoy for that kind of draw you into it is super neat.
Speaking of someone who was a not knower or an anti-throner, Gerardo was beefing with Luis about the idea of House of the Dragon being good. I remember that. What are your thoughts now, Gerardo? Now that you've seen HOTD.
He hasn't seen it.
You still haven't seen it?
I haven't watched that bullshit.
Uninitiated. Boo.
I've seen
Mute him.
Game of Thrones clips.
Mute him.
I've seen
Get him out of here.
I've seen Game of Thrones clips. It looks fun. I don't know if it's for me. I'll give it a try in like a year or two when season 3 is out. But as of right now, nothing has convinced me to be like, oh, I need to watch this show.
The cast is sexy. What are you talking about?
Okay, that's for every show.
No, every person in here
most shows
amazing degrees. It is,
but how talented?
That's a good-looking adult.
Incredibly.
I want to preface adult.
Incredibly talented. Yeah.
Okay.
Immensely talented.
The storytelling is fantastic.
Okay.
There's dragons.
The worlds are lived in.
There's dragons.
Beautiful.
I've seen dragons. I've seen Aragon. Okay.
Okay. What about?
Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about the scenery and how beautiful this show is. We have different settings across the Game of Thrones.
I've seen Andor.
The Game of Thrones. What's it? Mythos. Game of Thrones. Universe.
The world.
You know, there's Westeros and there's Essos. And then here in Westeros, we're mainly the first season is mainly in King's Landing, seeing the Targaryens, Viserys, all of them moving around there. You see different spots across the.
Well, there's a big reason why season 2 looks so much better than season 1. Season 1, a lot of it was filmed in the volume.
Yay.
Made famous by Disney
in England. In England.
And so as amazing as that technology is. As amazing as that technology is, and it's kind of like exciting and kind of accessible and much and cheaper than it makes filmmaking, there is just kind of like this sheen of kind of like artificiality that's kind of layered over the projects that it's a part of. Whereas season 2, they shoot a lot more on location, and not necessarily that, but they built a bunch of like sets. Like the Harrenhal set is built. A lot of like the King's Landing streets were filmed in Spain, like all the and a lot of there's a lot of real practical
white Mexico.
Mexico is white. Mexico is white Mexico.
The reason I speak
whiter Mexico,
Spain,
and it's just you can just feel the difference. You can just feel it when something is practical and something is virtual or artificial. It just feels much better whenever you can tell that the actors feel, you know, their job is much easier because they're in actual sets. They don't have to pretend like they're in somewhere. And so that's why season 2 looks so much better than season 1, is because a lot of it is not fucking the volume.
Yeah, they're not looking at balls.
It's really showing in a lot of the scenes of just like simple shit. Like for instance, I don't know if it's in season 2. It might be in season 2, I think. Where they show like the side effects of just the small disagreement between the Green Kingdom and the Black Kingdom, which is
the High Towers.
The High Towers, yeah.
High Towers, bro.
And they show this this small skirmish that happens as a result between two of
between the Brackens and
You're talking about the Brackens and the Blackwoods.
and the Blackwoods.
The Brackens and the Black ones. Yeah, like
Playground
the
beef.
ties,
I know who
killing
they
the
are.
whole
ties of
family.
loyalty are so deep to where like you have these small kingdoms, these like small houses, not even like whole kingdoms, just like estates basically, right?
Mhm.
Villages going to war with each other, and it's really nice seeing how this conflict that you think of as just a small thing of just political debates, even though they haven't like physically gone to blows, there's no armies marching on each other, that wars are being fought on their behalf for their ideals because so many people are like strongly tied to either side.
It's like what the lady of the pleasure house said to Aemon, and it was at episode 2. She said, when princes fight, it's the small people that suffer.
Folk. She
Or
said,
the
small
small
folk
folk
like me suffer.
Exactly.
That's so real. That is
so,
a testament to the I'm not even gonna get I'm not gonna get into that. I'm about to say
what?
something.
Some political shit,
it's a testament to how we live today. Whenever the rich man want to go to war, it's us who have to fight, not me.
But what I was gonna say is that this is one of the beautiful things about like long form storytelling when it's done right. Like a lot of people really took issue into like all the time jumps that happened in season 1 and the recasting halfway through the season, and like, oh, we didn't get enough of adult Rhaenyra and Alicent. It doesn't really, it just felt a little bit rushed. But like when you have a plan and you stick to it, it tends to, and you're confident in that plan and what you want to do, it works out. They did what they had to do for season 1. They had to lay the groundwork. They had to lay the basis between Rhaenyra and Alicent's relationship, Otto, all the backstory, everything that happens with these characters, who's vying for power and why, and everything that leads to the Dance of the Dragons.
Exactly.
So that when season 2 pops off, now we're in the midst of it. Now we understand these relationships. We understand why it's so important, why Aemon feels the way he does towards Aegon, why Alicent is kind of a shitty mother, right? Why, Daemon is the way he is. So it's like season 1, although it has its flaws, needed to happen so that season 2 can kind of move at the pace that it's moving. And I just think that was a very smart choice, because I know in the book, the them being young and stuff is kind of like is not that long. I haven't read any of the books. I'm just a fan of the show, and that's kind of how I got introduced to this. But I know in the book that section is very I can't read. It's very small, and so people took a little bit of issue with the fact that the first season was them being young. But like I said, I think that's a very smart choice, and season 2 has really picked up, and it's really kind of like finding its feet, and I just think it's working wonderfully. I think it's really good.
Agreed.
You really get like or go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think with season 1 being not really a continuation of the mainline Game of Thrones, just this is a prequel, but however it does better because folks were really upset about the final season of GOT. This kind of goes back to the original feeling of the first few seasons of Game of Thrones, going through everything up until about season 6, season 7, and I feel like everyone's more invested in this than, at least I am. I know I'm more invested in this than I was in Game of Thrones. I'm about to go restart Game of Thrones and get back to where I left off. But House of the Dragon is pulling more people in. We've been needing a lot more fantasy work. Not that Lord of the Rings doesn't exist or all the other fantasy stuff that's going on doesn't exist. House of the Dragon does a lot of things better than those shows.
Wheel of Time.
Well, I just also think it as like dumb and like kind of like basic as this sounds. I think the fact that like, because J.R.R. Tolkien and kind of his like world is kind of very like aspirational for the most part. Good guys win, bad guys lose. And what's so interesting about George R.R. Martin's works and kind of like the Song of Ice and Fire books are that it's like it's grittier and more realistic, right? Your favorite characters die, good people do bad things. Not everyone is evil just for being for evil's sake. Like there's a lot more nuance and a lot more black and white. And I think that's and that obviously is much more compelling storytelling, I think, just from a human level. And the fact that we're getting shows, these aren't movies, you spend more time with these characters, that works. You need characters that are that are nuanced, right? Because if you, and that's why the Rings of Power don't really work, because it just kind of, characters felt kind of flat and boring and like didn't feel like they were really changing much, right? And so that's, at least that's why I like House of the Dragon and kind of the Game of Thrones universe a little bit more, because they're a lot more more human or whatever, a lot more relatable.
I think,
because who doesn't want to
really
fuck their cousin, right? Like that's what there was a joke, guys, right? Because that's what they do in
what in the Targaryen Lannister shit is that? What in the Westerosi hold down? The winter is coming. Targaryen.
Should we talk about the most recent episode? Though?
I almost.
Let's talk about that. Quick. We did mention it brief. Oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna say, Izzy?
Transition.
I was gonna real quick say. I definitely think it was smart of them to start with like Rhaenyra and them being young, and then end like the latter half of the season, like the last 3 or 4 episodes, with them being adults. Because without that background and us understanding like the politics and the interpersonal relationships and the traditions and everything upheld in this society, I feel like, because this is also supposed to be a jumping on point for new audiences who haven't seen Game of Thrones, because it's been X amount of years since the season ended, and it was a really bad fucking ending, and
it's
really
a
burned the bridge.
As well.
But yeah, it burned the bridge with a lot of people with this IP. That a lot of hesitancy would have been coming from the audience of people who were wanting to get into this or not knowing anything about it, or people who had saw it and been burned before. So, you know, having that way to develop not only just those 2 characters, but also the world around them as well, and understanding like the systems and everything, that's important. And I think one of the main reasons why I really got into this show is because I watched what was that show called? Shogun. And Shogun is fucking incredible. It makes just like basic politics and the whole thing of like a war slowly brewing interesting. So when I found out, you know, House of the Dragon was going in that direction, I was like, oh, this is good. This is excellent. This is fire. But yeah, we can go ahead and move on to the next the most recent episode. That's all I wanted to really say.
No, yeah, good analysis, AZ. I like what you said about them doing the first half as them as youths, and then the last half of them is was it time jump like 20 years, 10 years, something like that?
No.
They're like
they were like 20 or 30s.
Yeah. So it was a good transition in my opinion as well. Seeing
they reached age of consent. I know that was comforting.
What is consent? Child really back then? What is? I mean,
I'm
king
really glad
chose
you
in this universe. What is consent? You know?
The king chose
the universe of the show.
Yeah, the universe of the show. Yeah,
we want to emphasize that as much as possible.
I said, what's OVO? That's why I said, bro, they not like us. What OVO for? The other Viserys option? Bro was smashing. Bro was trying to mac up on a child. It's
on a
disgusting to me. Bro. That's why he died, mate. Anyways,
Let's just touch on episode 4 really quick.
Yeah, episode 4. It was a powerful episode. It was a painful episode. It got me hyped. You guys know I'm a number one. I don't like the Hightowers, but I kind of like Aemon because the actor who portrays Aemon, is it Ewan Mitchell? He's a phenomenal actor, dude. He's cooking. I told y'all he's got
that's the brother.
That's the patch. That's the Luke. Luke. The what's it called? The Nick Fury of the Hightowers. Bro is cooking. Bro is killing every scene he's in. He portrays Aemon really well. It's not hard to pick up and play a villain role that is just so much like there's so much going on with him, and there's so much that hasn't been explored yet, and I want to see where they go with this. Anyways, what happens in episode 4 of season 2? We got pour one out for my queen, Rhaenys. We lost my girl Rhaenys and Mealy.
It's the Battle of Rook's Rest, which in the books I know is like is a big deal, and I know a lot of people who are like book readers and like big fans of this world are kind of disappointed because it's supposed to be like this really big kind of battle that they feel was kind of under what's it called? Not watered down. Yeah, very watered down in the show. But as someone, like I said, someone who didn't read the books, I think I thought the episode worked really well.
It worked well for pacing, especially because there's only like if I know anything about Game of Thrones and just like the whole world of like the Song of Ice and Fire and Westeros and all that, there's a lot of like big grand set pieces. And of course, you know, with any adaptation, you know, something's got to give. You know, you can't do everything beat for beat, shot for shot, because if you do this giant grand poobah focus on this battle really heavily like it does in the book. What do you have to like one up yourself continually, and if you don't with the finale, that's diminishing returns. You lose audience, so it makes sense.
And we're halfway through the season. There's only 8 episodes this season. This is episode 4. It was time for a battle, something that some action set piece that kind of got people excited and invested in the story. But something I really like about this episode, that I really like about I think season 2 as a whole, is that there's a fuck ton of characters. There's so many characters, so many different plot lines, so many different stories. But I think that the show does a really good job at keeping track of these characters and those stories and those plot lines, and kind of filling us in well enough to kind of be like, oh, okay, so that's what's happening with Damon at Harrenhal. Oh, so that Laris, I remember him. Okay, so that's kind of what he's doing. He's kind of maybe. Oh, Aegon, great, still a piece of shit. And so it's like I really like I think the writers are really cooking. I think they're doing a really fantastic job. I know it can be kind of daunting and scary to dive into a world that has so much lore, that is so big, that is so vast, and that is so popular, and so to see them handling kind of these characters, and I know people are gonna be like, oh, but there's another one of Allison Hightower's kids was actually in Old Town, who we barely got a mention of last week. They're like, oh, but there's not. Where is he? They're not mentioning him. Like I said, as a show, it works, and you're gonna have to make adaptive choices that bother some people, but that make sense from a storytelling perspective for audiences that are new and aren't familiar with this lore. And I think for the most part, this is an IP that's handled that very well. But yeah, season 4 was awesome, bro. It's just, and this episode, if you don't know, if you're like, well, I don't know if I should dive into the show. I don't know if watch this episode. I think it's a good episode to kind of watch and get like a little taste of like what House of the Dragon can offer and what this world and this show can offer. It's got good action. It's got great set pieces. The acting is amazing. The direction is phenomenal. And I just think, I think if you watch this episode, like Gerardo, for example, if you watch episode 4 of season 2 of House of the Dragon, you'd be like, oh, that's what this show can do? That's pretty exciting. And I think, it might get you interested to watch the rest of it.
I think in terms of action, like what you just mentioned, this one does pick up. Most of the other episodes are like story, bad stuff happens here, story. But this episode does pick the action up real well. Kind of like how in last season, whenever we had Damon fighting off the sea motherfuckers, the Crab King and all that.
Crab Eater. I mean, the Crab Feeder.
The Crab Feeder, yeah. That was a crazy episode. And it was probably the height of the action in that season. I don't think this is the end of the action for season 2, but it definitely is there's gonna be. It does weave in different aspects of storytelling. You have the beautiful sets. You have the stories. You have the plots within the plots. You have Damon freaking fighting for his life in Harrenhal with the ghost in the Luigi's mansion. All types of stuff going on.
Alice Rivers and her doing her witchy shit.
I just think it's really well put together, and I commend this show. I commend the series. I commend the writing team. The directors, there's various directors on each episode, and they all put their spin on everything, and it looks so good. It comes together really well. It doesn't feel like one certain director is trying to control the whole show,
Well, and Taylor, the guy who directed this episode, he's the showrunner for this season. Last season was Miguel Sapochnik, who directed like some of the best Game of Thrones episodes, like Battle of the Bastards. I think he also directed Hard Home, which are like oh wow,
Red Wedding. Who did Red Wedding?
I think
I need that dude.
I think it was Miguel Sapochnik. I'm not sure.
Because I didn't see much of Game of Thrones, but I did see the Red Wedding clip online because I always heard about it talked about.
No, it was David Nutter
dropped around
David Nutter,
The Reigns of Castamere.
Whatever it was.
He nutted
when did the Red Wedding episode came out when I was in high school, maybe like 2016, I think, about around that time. And like everybody was talking about it. I was like, what the fuck is the Red Wedding? So I looked it up. Dude.
A wedding that's red.
Fire.
That shit is some crazy. They stabbed a pregnant bitch. I wasn't prepared for that. That was
fire. That was awesome.
Who directed the episode of The Hound talking about chickens? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
that's the one clip of Game of Thrones that like sticks with me. I haven't seen the show. Maybe won't. Maybe I will. I don't know. But that's just fun.
But when with this episode, I think it really hammered home something that I like how they do really well. I think in Game of not just Game of Thrones, mostly in this show. I can't really speak on that piece of shit Game of Thrones, but House of the Gas in that shit, and House of the Peak Fiction, right?
Them dragons.
They have this House of the Dragon. Why is it dragon? Because it's fire. But what I think they do really well is dude, Gerardo was not a fan of that.
No, I loved it.
So Bay, Matt's disappointed. That's shaking his head. But I think they really do parallels very well, and I think one of the ones that they've done the best so far is seeing a parallel between Aegon's brother. We literally just said his name.
Aemon.
Characters.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that you can spell Damon by just moving the D instead of Aemon?
Yeah, I
It's
noticed
almost
that.
they're the same character.
Unoriginal ass names, bro.
That's Luis. That was actually what I was about to say. The parallels. So the way I see Aemon is like if Damon got off of his ass and actually just went full Loki, like just went like full on. I'm getting the throne by any fucking means necessary. I feel like the moment that really like tweaked him, like really like made him snap a little bit, was after he killed his cousin, right? Because I feel like he was really just trying to scare him for the most part. After he killed him, he's like, "Well, go to Prince. Let's see if I can upgrade." Like he just went full on. He's
Well,
like,
in the books,
I think
How much more evil can I get?
I think they had mentioned something about how when that happened, that incident with Luke happens, he goes back home and he's like, "I'm going to be called like a kinslayer or whatever," and he's like, and he didn't know whether to embrace it or not, and so he just chose to let it kind of, take its a life on its own.
Yeah,
and he's just like, well, fuck it. He's like, I'll be known as a kinslayer, so I might as well
he's really like he's growing into this role of being like an absolute bastard of a man, and I'm liking it. I'm like,
well, they're all bastards,
No, Granted, Aegon is terrible. Like he's just fucking like he's like a more punchable Joffrey with the qualities of a Lannister. Like he sucks. Sucks so much.
I don't know,
like,
bro. So far,
so good.
I mean, Joffrey was a piece of shit. Like
Joffrey was hard, bro.
Joffrey was bad.
That's how I want to go.
But like also,
let me rephrase. Aegon does do some sexual deviancy.
He's sexually assaulted multiple women.
I hope they do.
Should I watch this show?
I hope they let Damon take control and do what he did in the first episode he appeared in. What they did with the molesters.
When he cut his dick off. Yeah, that was fire. I was like, oh my God.
I was going to say that on camera, but yeah, sure.
That's kind of crazy, right? Then he cut off the dude's dick for rape. I was like,
not the hard R.
Potato. Gotta crack a few eggs. Gotta crack a few eggs. You know what I'm saying?
We're anti it, so it's okay.
But fuck, what was I talking about? I'm liking the parallels because like you really see like Aegon's a terrible fucking person. Like he fathered a child with a prostitute and then put that same child to fight in a child fighting ring. Like he's just evil. Like for no fucking reason. That's right?
Hard, yeah.
And like he's just awful, right? But Aemon is like this like this conniving, like sly evil. Like you can see it brimming under the surface, right? But he's like this controlled, calm, collected sociopath kind of building. Like he gets all these experiences from his life of like being denied the role of king, being denied by his family,
not being a dragon rider, being bullied,
not being a dragon rider, being bullied, this, that, and the third.
Being a bitch,
just overall being a bitch, right? And he's almost compensating in the same way that I feel like if he actually had taken action during his younger days, that Daemon would have towards Viserys, to try to get the crown and everything. I feel like it's a really nice parallel to like a future that could have been. I did laugh though when they're talking about Rhaenyra and her friend talking in that like church area, right, where she's like disguised as a nun
on the last episode.
On the last episode, yeah, where she's like, I don't think my father would have wanted Aegon to be king. He's like, no, he was telling the story. He was saying about how there's a king that's going to unite us all. And she's like,
promised. Yeah.
She's like you dumb bitch. That's a fairy tale he told me. And they're like, Oh shit. Oh fuck! I found that funny. I don't know why I found that hilarious.
Because it's funny because it's like this whole civil war that's going to kill thousands and thousands of people. It all started because of a misunderstanding.
Allegedly,
because Viserys decided to name his son something one of his ancestors was called Aegon, and being unoriginal and naming children, so that's why there's a confusion. And so it is kind of funny.
Bro couldn't have done like you telling me about like 3,000 to 5,000 or so years before they really invented the concept of like the junior. You couldn't have been a trailblazer. You could have just said AJ. You could have put
Aegon Junior.
The fucking suffix.
He's Aegon the Second. That's basically calling him Junior.
That's not the same. He ain't say second during that story.
I know.
Which is crazy too, because it's like I think one of my favorite scenes is whenever you. Granted, I'm not a fan of child murder. I think it's kind of hot take.
Yeah,
hot take.
I am.
Hot take. In fiction. Hot take. It's bad, right? But when that little boy got his shit just like chopped, right? First off, I found that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
AZ just now.
That was my second part where I was like, okay, now that's funny because you killed the wrong kid. That's the wrong son.
But that's the thing about
he warned you that the son would try to fight back. You think the Paw Patrol viewer is
you're misinterpreting that because in the books
that's crazy.
In the books
don't be talking about books, man. You know we can't fucking read.
That book is like the whole thing is that it's like being told from multiple different perspectives, from multiple different sources, and they're all unreliable narrators. And so what the show does really well is, for example, the whole blood and cheese situation. We see Daemon tell them, "Hey, I want you to kill Aemond," right? And then they say, "Okay, and what if we can't find him?" And it just lingers on his face, and it like cuts. So did he tell them, "Well, if we can't find Aemond, kill whoever the fuck you can find that's got blonde hair,"
or just stab somebody,
or did he not? And then when Rhaenyra confronts him in the next episode, in episode 3,
he's like,
and she's like, "You're pathetic. You killed a child." And it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Can I interrupt real quick? Is that the little kid who was at the table?
Yeah.
No, he's so cute.
Yeah,
Fuck.
The one that can play with little fucking Jewel. Yeah,
they put him in a
That's
pack.
the only clip.
Anyways, let's kind of wrap this up.
That's the problem. They don't abide by the rules of the streets, bro. Rules of the streets say you don't harm women and children. That's it. But this is some
the streets.
Next level shit.
All is fair in love and war.
Yeah,
I'm the biggest hater. That's what I am.
Our streets are wherever we make them. All right,
exactly.
Hey, let's fucking air, bro. It's
speaking
good.
Let's rate this episode, bro. Speaking of streets, real quick, and this is the most obvious ass question. But which side is everyone on? We're talking about hashtag Team Green or Team Black. You are Hightower
Dragon's
fan?
Keep.
I'm the Black,
Dragon's
baby.
Keep.
The
Black all day. It's on my skin. It's on my shirt. It's in my eyes and my hair.
Someone who's never seen this bullshit, I'm Team Green. Just cause.
Boo.
We'll see if that comes to me later.
But I'm gonna be real. Team Green, y'all down 2 niggas right now. Yeah, it's not looking good.
No, they're not.
We're working.
They just Team Black just lost Rhaenys.
Yeah, the body count is equal right now. If
and
you
they
don't
got
count the black
alive.
They got Aegon. Hey, surprise! He's alive.
What the fuck?
His armor gets scorched into his skin.
Bro was in there he was in there sizzling like a fucking fajita. I wanted him to be dead so bad, but when I saw Kristen Cole's ass like that, I knew he survived. I already know.
He's going full Black Mask. Okay, no, that's kind of hard.
His shit got
fucking hard. Yeah. Oh, no,
anyways, Team Black, fuck Team Green, fuck the usurper king, bitch ass motherfucker.
As a real Team Blacker, I gotta give this episode and this whole season just so far. I gotta give it a 10, man. I'm enjoying it.
You got AZ Team Black 10.
I can't hate, man. I came around on this show so fucking fast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And especially it's really interesting because you yourself, you're not the biggest Game of Thrones knower at all. But it swayed you, right? This is something enough to sway you. So you got a 10 from AZ. Gerardo, what's your take as someone who doesn't know about anything of Game of Thrones?
They
I
call
mean,
it
You do not know
Yeah.
anything.
He doesn't
Jon
have
Snow.
to rate it. Why
No,
would
no,
he
no,
have to
no.
rate
He's
it?
not asking for rating. He's asking if I want to watch it, and
Yeah.
this sounds interesting. I might
Mm.
watch it on the background through my Bluetooth headphone while I'm at work. We'll see what
Bro,
happens.
it's got
Hell no,
child murder and
boy.
misogyny.
Yeah.
That's like your two favorite things.
No. This isn't
Come
Love
on.
Island.
No, you're
bitch.
right.
You
It's
gotta
got child
invest.
murder and it's got dragons. I'll give it a try.
And
But
sexual assault.
I don't. No, chill.
I
The
don't
least
support
favorite
that.
part about Kinds of Kindness.
Huh? Yeah, my least favorite part. Kinds of kindness.
Stop.
Speaking of,
I'll give this
support
show.
it.
I'll give this show
Yeah.
8.5. We still got 4
Mhm.
episodes left. It's docked a complete point because we don't get 10 episodes. They dropped it down
That's-
to 8,
yep.
which is
I
bullshit
saw
That
that.
is crazy.
I
and
saw that.
stupid. It's
You're
fucking dumb.
HBO. Come on.
Yeah,
I know
What
you got the
fuck are we
funding.
doing?
You got
You
people
don't
who are
got
going
the
to pay
funding?
15.
What the
David
fuck are we doing?
Zaslav, get your bitch ass
What was
over here
it?
right now.
$15.99 a
Zaslav
month.
needs to pay his mistress, bro. He needs to pay.
Me and Casey
Oh, it is.
Bloys, the head of HBO, are gonna have a stern talk. 8.5. Still plenty of game left. I'm biased. I really like this show. I'm really invested. I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones and kind of like this universe, and so I'm just having a great time. It's awesome. It fucks.
I'm right there with you, bro. 8.5 is definitely my same number. It's for the same reason. This should be a 10, if not 12 episode season. You don't want to risk that territory running too long and dragging it out. But at the same time, bro, these books are extensive. There's a lot of lore to tell. There's a lot of story to tell. You can afford to do more than 8. Do not fall in the Star Wars, Marvel, Disney Plus trap of doing 6
brother, y'all ain't
episodes
ready for
only.
this Acolyte
Fucking
episode.
I know we're gonna cook next week, boy. Let me
Cook
tell you
that
what.
shit.
We're
When
gonna
the finale drops,
we're gonna tear it up. Y'all stay tuned. We might have a special guest pop up. But yeah, we cannot be going around life being deprived of greatness. And this show is greatness. It can be a solid 9 to 10 out of 10. And because of their lack of commitment to the bit, bro, Game of Thrones is 8 seasons of what, like 12 episodes, 15 episodes? I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
There were 10
I don't
episodes.
know.
Better on that.
10 episodes.
Better on
Something
that.
like that. So just keep up with it. Just do that. It's okay. Ain't nobody gonna be mad about you. You know, I'll gladly watch more show. So, otherwise, though, great storytelling, great action sequences, visually beautiful. The dragons feel real. I know it's CGI, but them dragons feel real as hell. R.I.P. Maylis, R.I.P. Rhaenys, R.I.P. all my niggas out there in the was it the Brackens, the Blackwood family. Shout out all my real shooters from House Targaryen, Team Black all the way. Let's go. Shout out Game of Thrones.
But
Also,
wait,
shout out Kristen Cole. That's my boy.
Oh yeah, Kristen Cole. Let me
bro.
do this real quick. Tap on Kristen Cole. Fabian Franco is probably one of the best actors, if not the best actor I've seen come from. His storyline, bro, is an asshole. He was a white knight in the first couple episodes. Everyone's like, oh, he's
Literally.
so noble. He came from nothing. Oh, look at him. He tries to get with a child. She's like, I can't marry you.
He
bro.
would, to be fair, he's supposed to have been young as well. They just do this thing where they don't age up like Matt Smith or Fabian Frankel for some reason. They're the same actors that were
Because they're too good to replace.
Exactly. And he plays the asshole incel character so well.
He's so
fun,
good.
white
People
knight.
are commenting. He had to limit the comments on his actual Instagram page because people were attacking him, which is fucking weird. And y'all need to stop doing this. This shit is made up. It's not real.
There's
It's
literally
pretend.
dragons.
It's pretend.
There's literally dragons.
Stop bullying
Like,
a fucking
that's the
actor because you
problem,
don't
bro.
like his character.
People can't separate fiction from reality, man. Like they don't know that this is not. He's just a knight. He's not a real gladiator. But let's talk about some real motherfucking.
Wait.
Nice.
Oh, we're talking about Gladiator. I thought we were going to Agatha. I had the best.
Now we finishing up on dog shit.
We still back in the
Agatha on my
BCs,
song,
bro.
baby.
We still back in BC, my boy. Let's talk
is
about
Gladiator 2 out?
No,
No,
it comes out in
the
November. The
trailer's
trailer dropped. You didn't
Yeah.
watch the
this
trailer?
boy's still under a rock.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Mute him. AZ, go
Mute
watch
his
that
ass.
trailer.
Yeah, go watch the trailer, then come back.
You have
I
Mute his
promise
ass.
you, you're going to be
Give
surprised.
me 2 seconds. Y'all keep
Alright.
going.
Mute your shit.
AZ
right.
is gonna go
What's a king
enlighten
to
himself.
a mob,
Let's
boy?
talk
Let's
about-
go.
let's
What's a
talk
mob
about-
to a
No,
king?
it's human
What's a king
beings
to
in a
a
mob,
god?
bro. Hear me out. It's human
All
beings
right,
in a
I'm sorry, I don't
mob.
know the fucking
Mob to a
anti-Semite
king.
lyrics
Mob
all
to
the
a
way.
king.
Dude, my bad.
What's a
What's
king,
a king to a god? What's
the
a
God?
God
to
to
a
a
non-believer who don't believe in anything?
anything.
Woo!
When I heard that needle drop, I
Yeah,
already knew. First of all,
I liked
Luis,
it. People
Luis
were
and I have
complaining
been
about that shit, man. I didn't
prime
get it. I was like, yo, that's a hard fucking needle
because
drop.
they're racist.
It's
They
a
don't like
thematic.
black
It's
folks.
thematically like
Resonant.
resonant. It's relevant. Y'all just don't like black people.
I
They don't like
I'm a big fan of
gladiators.
contemporary music, specifically hip hop, being in like trailers about things that are said in the past. I love it. I think it fucks.
always
I think
works.
it works. I think
It always works.
Yeah, I
Especially
can't think
when
of any
it's
recent
like
examples, but
it's like interpolated into the trailer in a way. It's
The
like
last
where the song is not
example I
taking
can think
over
of
the
is
actual
Eminem
trailer.
and Venom.
Oh no!
I was literally on a Facebook group about, and they were talking about,
Damn, the boy old.
people were like, "Why are y'all complaining about this? Just say you don't like hip hop on in movies and say that." They're like, "But that's not a valid
They're
argument."
like, say the N word.
They're like, "That's not a valid criticism."
know.
And people are like, "Why
Yeah.
not? Why can't we say we don't like hip hop in movies?" They're like, Hans Zimmer's score won an Oscar and it's amazing. I was like, shut the fuck
And guess
up.
what?
You
Hans
suck my
Zimmer's
dick.
score, Hans
There's
Zimmer's
a-
score can still exist outside of hip
Yeah,
hop.
there's a difference
Hans
between a
He's a
soundtrack
phenomenal
and a
freaking
score.
composer.
Yeah.
He has composed some of the greatest music we've ever heard in cinema.
Agreed. My favorite
put
composer.
together the best arrangements and just. I'm just gonna list off three of his movies so far: Inception, the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy, the
Dune.
Interstellar, Dune. Bro has done so many good things that like he can exist. And I'm a band nerd, I'm a music nerd, so I can appreciate classical music and appreciate arrangements of that manner. But I also love hip hop. I love rap, and having that mixed into a movie of this magnitude, bro. Gladiator 2 is following up one of the best, one of the most iconic movies.
I'd say the best movie of the 2000s. Let's be
I
real.
think so too.
It's one of my
It's
top
definitely up there, top 5, top 10
favorite movies of all time. Now, and am I saying it's the greatest movie ever made? No, but I'm very fond. It's the first movie I remember seeing in the movie. It's the first movie I remember seeing in the movie theater.
Mhm.
It came out in 2001. I was like 6 years old. My dad took me to go see that. I remember watching this movie. I've watched it on repeat for years and years and years afterwards. And so I'm very fond of this movie. So when this movie was announced, you can understand that I was very hyped. Now, that you already got Luis signed up because it's a Gladiator 2 movie and Ridley Scott's directing. I'm locked in.
Mhm.
But then they said, how can we get Luis more locked into this bitch? He said, let's cast
the two men in
His
Hollywood
goat.
he wants to
His
fuck
two
the
favorites.
most.
It's
three people Luis fucks with heavy.
Mhm.
The greatest actor of all time, suck my dick, Denzel motherfucking Washington. All right.
My goat.
Then
Black
they said,
Jesus.
said, white boy of the year for 3 years running, Paul Mescal.
Glenn Powell
There
still
we go.
exists. Bro. I don't know about that one.
Wait, AZ. And then they said,
Silencing black voices.
and then they said, the hottest brown boy out right now, Pedro Pascal.
Tan.
You gotta say his full name, bro.
Boy.
Jose Pedro
Jose Pedro
Balmaceda.
Balmaceda Pascal. And when they announced that cast,
Chilean king.
I said, and Connie Nielsen's returning from the original.
Yeah.
Jimon Honsu's returning. I was like, I'm in. And then that trailer dropped, and I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Don't forget the other add-ons to this film, bro. Joseph Quinn, who we have been on the little the non-believer train.
But after day one,
dog shit. Shut the fuck up.
Joseph Quinn, I might have to slide onto the bandwagon a little
I'm not
bit.
sliding on.
He's not Glenn Powell.
I'm sliding
That's
on
my
fucking
goal,
business.
Nah, he's got oh, go ahead.
Glenn Powell
He's got British
can't do
face like a
Gladiator,
motherfucker.
He's got British face. Real accurate.
Glenn Powell can't do Gladiator.
I'm
sorry.
Glenn Powell can do anything that
First of
fucking
all,
Joseph Quinn has done and do it better.
Twisters is going to silence everyone because
That's right.
I don't know
Mr.
about that.
If you feel it, chase it. Gonna show up.
If you feel it,
chase it.
I gotta be honest.
You just watched the trailer?
I just watched it.
Change your life.
I have watched
be honest.
every single one of them talk about this movie in the Twitter group chat, tweeting about it, talking about it in the text group chat. Like I have nonstop just heard about this and been like, okay, I guess it's cool or whatever. Because I thought Gladiator 1 was great, right? I thought it was pretty good. Then I was like, I guess.
Pretty good.
I guess, you know, it's a
sequel, don't know ball.
Whatever.
Hold on,
right?
Not a ball nowhere.
I watched the trailer. First off, he didn't say it, but that scene where Denzel Washington is like doing that, he said, "My nigga," he said it.
Yeah,
he said it. I know that look.
It was implied.
I know it's implied. I read the subtitles.
My gladiator, my hitter,
my gladiator,
my senator, you know,
my senator,
my gladiator.
But like, I really feel like, for one, this is probably one of the best uses of that Kanye's of No Home in the Wild.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I gotta be honest. It really feels like it resonates well with the movie that's
perfect.
It's right. It fits so fucking well. Like
I saw a music they chose,
beautiful.
I saw a comment on YouTube that was like, "Oh, what? So it mentions a Coliseum, so that means it deserves to go in the movie."
Brother, you're not listening.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
You hear it, but you're not listening, my brother.
They're not listening. Bro. No, they're acting like this song is gonna show up in the movie.
Yeah,
it's not.
They're not gonna fucking bass drop it. That it's
marketing.
Like Suicide Squad.
I hope they do like Black Adam and have them do Power, like they play Power in the middle of the movie or whatever. I hope they do that. That should just piss off the racists, bro.
It's like trailers are about vibes. Right?
Yeah,
and that song. When like all the action is happening, like Denzel's walking, he's plotting, Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal are fighting in the pit. That's what you need, bro. You need something to get you hyped. You need something to get you.
One of the best parts of those trailers when they put that hip hop in there is when they cut out like the actual music from the background of the song. It's just whoever's rapping or saying their words. It's like the do 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 do, and they're like the action scenes in the background is guns shooting, arrows flying. You hear we the ball till we. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. This is so good. This is so good. Like, what
really stood out to me in this trailer is just like, it's very rare that like I see a trailer and I genuinely feel like the final product is going to be as well shot, if not more so. And like this trailer is so like, this sounds stupid because I'm saying about a movie trailer, but it is cinematic. This is an actual cinematic movie trailer. There's actual heart put into this film that I can see we're gonna get out of this final product. Like,
we'll see. It could be the worst thing ever, and I'm still gonna watch it. Is the greatest thing that came out this year. So
it's just like I genuinely feel like there has never, like, compared to me, there has never been a black man more excited to watch a white dude free some slaves since 1865. Like, I am hyped.
Shout out
very hyped.
Brown.
John Brown.
When he like, there's even parts in this trailer that made me laugh, and I feel like this movie isn't gonna be. It's not gonna be like a comedy, but like it has like funny moments, right? Like where he's like, who can I give you to satisfy your bloodlust? He says the entire Roman army. He's like, too much. Like, that's funny. That was genuinely funny. They gotta laugh at it.
That's what you get when you
get
Denzel. Like, Denzel's gonna find things in your script that you didn't even think were there.
For real, he's incredible.
Like when
because
Denzel
he's
read
leaving with something.
He's leaving here with something.
He's leaving with something.
An Oscar. All of them.
Let's talk about Luis mentioned these are three of his favorite actors. These are like universally, these are some of the best actors in this cast right now. Denzel being, I don't know,
the GOAT.
I don't know who does it.
GOAT.
The more I think about it, I'm like, I do not know who does not like Denzel. Unless you're just purely racist.
Even racist people will be like, I hate them.
Like Denzel.
Even racist people like Denzel.
That color,
bro.
My first Denzel.
I dead ass had a racist coworker when I lived in Denton, right?
We
were working, right? I think it was like around closing time, like kind of near it, right? So we were still open, right? And it was his day off, and he was racist, just like in that weird casual way, not like outright saying the hard R, right? But like if he got a Uber and the driver had an accent,
you
said
you're one of the good ones.
That every day.
Yeah, like a roll up your windows in a certain type of neighborhood kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
And so one day he came in on his day off. We're near closing. Like, he was kind of drunk because he'd been drinking on the street and everything. And he's talking to me, and he's like, I usually don't look, bro. Like, you're cool. You're one of the ones I'd say is cool. So he basically hit me with one of the good ones that was cool. But he's like, you ever seen, bro? I usually don't like people like with your whole thing going on, dude. But like you ever seen Training Day? And I was like, bro, that dude, that Denzel got fucking fired, dog. And I'm like, you suck, but you're right. That's valid. He's not wrong, but he's valid. He's horrible. He ain't wrong.
The first Denzel film I ever saw was Remember the Titans, but the Denzel film for me was Training Day because his performance as Alonzo, groundbreaking, phenomenal. Him and Ethan Hawke played off each other really well, and then just the rest of his filmography, it's all hits, no misses. I don't see a single.
No,
film.
He's got some stinkers in there. He's got some.
Which ones?
Denzel's got some
Two Guns.
Okay, I'll say three back to back that combat that. Go ahead. Name the stinkers.
I said he's got to get paid. It happens. Every actor does it. One for me, one for them.
You want me to name bad ones?
Go. No. Give me three bad ones. Give me three bad ones.
The Little Things, the movie with Rami Malek and Jared Leto.
That shit was ass.
All right,
dog shit, literal dog shit.
All right, it is actually the Little Things. Yeah, I know what you're talking. The Little Things, where he's the detective or whichever one. That shit is
trash. Safe House is bad. Fallen is bad.
Okay, that's three. Now I got three bangers to counteract that are run this whole thing null and void. Right?
Go.
You got motherfucking Training Day. You got motherfucking American Gangster. And last but not least, the certified goddamn hood classic. Yeah,
John Q.
Matt said it about
John Q. I know. I'm not saying
also honorable mentions.
Malcolm X.
Fences was what I was thinking about saying, but I was like, I don't know how much.
What's the other one?
Fences underrated.
Tragedy Macbeth.
That's what it was.
Cinema.
Made me want to watch Shakespeare, which I haven't done in years.
It just doesn't seem possible for I almost said Jamie Foxx because I was thinking of the meme where he's in it. He's like, get your
you call him Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, because I was thinking of the get your
and he does the lip thing.
That always makes me laugh.
Yeah,
but there's just something about like I feel like Denzel is like black people's Tom Cruise. Like he's our answer to what Tom Cruise is.
He's not white. He's not white. He's non-white people.
Denzel is not.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is
not
crazy.
Black people. Denzel is not black people's Tom Cruise. He is black people's Denzel. Everyone else wants to be Denzel.
White son.
Denzel is
Denzel.
That's
to be
true.
compared.
Denzel is Denzel.
No. But like
whenever
all
people
bullshit,
look at the most interesting man in the world is Denzel.
All bullshit aside, that is one of the great things about Denzel. Kind of like why he's so iconic and so popular. Not only is he like, not only was he super popular amongst like obviously black audiences, but he crossed over incredibly successfully.
He's got universal appeal. Yeah,
I'm Mexican, and my dad loves Denzel. He loves his movies. He loves Denzel, and so we grew up with Denzel in the household. And for somebody who didn't see a lot of Mexican people on screen, it was so important to see somebody like Denzel, who was not a white man, And I was just like, this is like, it's like people of color can have leading roles in incredible movies like Man on Fire, fucking Malcolm X, Inside Man, we can train there.
Malcolm X.
It's like we can do this too. And so that was very important. So he's cross-generational, cross-racial. He's amazing. He's
also in what's that?
What we talked about with the Kanye Jay-Z song.
It's a Civil War movie Denzel's in.
Glory. You're talking about Glory?
Glory.
In the 80s.
Glory is it's so good.
So good.
What are you saying, man?
I was just saying it's kind of funny to me how there's two films with Denzel Washington in it that both have the same No Church in the Wild playing in it on the trailer with Gladiator 2 and freaking was it Safe House. Trailer had the same music. Yeah. And guess what? This one's gonna be a banger. This one's gonna be a banger. I don't care what anybody say. Safe House was not good or whatever.
I was gonna say. Also, like just talking about like the rest of the cast, it's like I'm a Paul Mescal. Like I bought stock in that man. The since day one. The first thing he ever did that was super popular is a show
The
called
original-
Normal People. There's a
the
show called
original
Normal
Paul
People
Mescal
on Hulu.
truther.
On Hulu. So I'm a Paul Mescal truther, like you said, and I've been locked in on this guy ever since. I've watched everything he's done. I was a big supporter.
Writing since day one.
I saw Normal
Blazer.
People, and I've talked about this on this pod. I saw Normal People, and I was like, Paul Mescal is him, bro. He's the next bet. Like he's got it. And so I'm super excited about Gladiator too, because this is the kind of thing that propels you into superstardom. Right now, he's the internet's boyfriend, right? But when Gladiator 2 drops, and if it makes if it's positively reviewed and it makes a fuck ton of money, Paul Mescal, he's that dude.
He's the next white boy of the year
of the
several years.
You know, it's like, and this is what he needs, because he's a good actor. We know he can act. He's got the charisma. He's got the leading man thing. Can he do action in a Ridley Scott movie? And can he hold his own in scenes opposite Denzel Washington and Pedro Pascal? You know, so this is super important for him and his career. And you know, if it hits and it works and it lands, then you know he's set, because he's gonna have a blank check to do anything and everything he wants.
That also,
let's hope that what's it called, that Luis is right. You know,
I'm never wrong about these things.
Luis was right all along about Paul Mescal. Luis was right all along about Gladiator 2. I believed him. I've always believed him.
I know where the segue is going, but I just gotta say one thing real quick. Just one.
Go ahead.
Real quick.
I'm dropping the bomb afterwards.
Wait, all right. I got one more thing to say.
Okay. All I want to say is Luis reminded me of it when he was saying that Paul Mescal's got a lot to prove. I feel like if anybody has a lot to prove, it's definitely Joseph Quinn, because I gotta see that nigga do something. I gotta see that nigga. I gotta see him really. I gotta see him really move, bro. Because if he's with Denzel, Pedro Pascal, and also Paul, bro, that's an NBA. Like I'm talking like Wayne Wade, Chris Bosh, LeBron type trio. That's crazy. That's crazy work to go against. So this is gonna convince me whether or not like he can truly act. You know, it's something that isn't just Stranger Things or A Quiet Place 2, where he's just like, just that whole fucking movie.
Right? He did more than just that in A Quiet Place. Bitch.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He was great.
He didn't. But the other thing I was going to say is with this trailer, I saw how dynamically the action is going to be shot when you see that scene of, I think it's Pedro Pascal. I can't tell if it's him or Paul. They're going through the gladiator pit, where they're just like hacking and slashing through like 5 gladiators, 6 of them. That's Pedro working. That man is cooking.
The water battle, bro. This movie is gonna be
It's gonna go great. Luis, hit your thought.
I just gotta say it because I can't not talk Pedro Pascal. Come on. People on the internet who are like,
do things to me.
People on the internet who are like,
I get it. I'm in the same boat.
Pedro Pascal's overrated. He's being shoved down our throats.
Overrated?
Fuck you.
Overrated? Who said that?
Pedro Pascal is amazing. He elevates anything he's in. He's one of the most committed actors, one of the most talented actors out there. He's incredibly versatile. He can do anything and everything. He can do comedy. He can do drama. He can do science fiction. He watch Prospect. He can do fantasy. Watch Game of Thrones. He can literally do it all. I don't give a fuck. Suck my fucking dick. He deserves. He's one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. He deserves every ounce of his success. So fuck you. If you can tolerate white mediocrity, you can tolerate a talented brown man being incredibly successful. Yeah. So shut the fuck up. I'm so glad.
If he can sit through a fucking Dax Shepard movie and not give Pedro Pascal his fucking flowers, shut the fuck up.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
You saw The Last of Us. You know what the fuck you can do.
I watched The Bubble. He was the only, and I love a lot of people in that picture.
Karen Gillan in that picture.
I love her. I love Keegan. I love a lot of people in there. That movie was dog shit, and he was the only fucking shining light that got me through that bitch.
Agreed.
He is so fucking talented. He's so likable. He's so good. And the fact that people are still talking shit like, oh, he's in too much stuff. He's miscast as Joel. You just don't like brown people. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's nothing about him.
That's the main reason why people
fucking leading man, action star. He's got it all. You're just a bitch.
He's talented.
That's the main reason why people are hating on the Fantastic Four. I know
He's
Marvel
gonna body that
and all
shit.
that,
I don't give a
but
fuck.
once
He's
I
gonna be
saw he got
amazing.
cast, once I saw they
I don't know about
cast
that.
Pedro as Reed, I was sold. I was
Oh
locked
yeah,
in.
he is.
Because if
I
they
was
cast,
like,
honestly, if
I
they cast
forgot.
anyone else, even though I was very much heavy on the Penn
Diego
Badgley
Luna
train,
would have hit.
I was okay with John
Patel.
Krasinski's goofy ass.
Dev
I was okay
Patel.
with Dev Patel. I was okay with Rahul Koti. I was okay with
Kohli.
everybody else.
Kohli.
Kohli's my fault. I can't talk. Rahul Kohli, my fault, brother. Please don't please come
Don't dox me.
come to the podcast, please. We love you. We were actually vocal about wanting him to be Reed Richards.
I
But when they
called it.
cast
I
Pedro, dialed in the same way, bro. Anyways, we're gonna be right all along. Luis, you were right. You're gonna be right about Pedro. You're gonna be right about Paul. This is gonna be my first big Paul Mescal film, so I'm excited. I need to see all his other works too, but I just know this is gonna be it for me, and I'm all in. And let's talk about since we're talking about being right all along, let's talk about Agatha all along and how the MCU is handling the witches side, the more magical, mystical side of the storylines in the MCU. We got the Agatha all along trailer. Mind you, this show has gone through 3 different renames.
Way too fucking many. Way too.
It was
many.
Agatha Coven of Darkness.
Is that not the point though?
No, I think I was thinking that earlier. I was like, that's the point, because the names changed 3-4 times since until we got to this one, and it was just Agatha all along. They said Agatha Harkness, Coven of Chaos, Agatha Darkhold Chronicles, Darkhold Diaries, or whatever. Agatha this, Agatha that. I'm like, bro, that's the idea. It's just Agatha all along. It's just one simple name, Agatha, all along. And they're going with the Witch's Road story.
Agatha, all dog shit. Fuck Agatha.
Anyways. I wish Graham was here to do his Oracle shit. Graham can't make it tonight, but I wish Graham was here to do his Oracle see all, know all, because he knows more about these storylines.
I literally have a comic book YouTube channel, dog.
Yeah, I was like, damn,
this is my job. I was like, did I disconnect? I was here
into that. I was about to lead into that. Y'all ain't letting me do my segue.
Well, as a wise goat once said, doom is no man's second choice.
I was about to say, the sage himself has graced us with his presence.
Shut up, you fucking dick.
You was gonna say that bullshit.
The real knower.
Let AZ cook.
The knower who knows, the knower of all, has graced us.
Shut up, suck my dick, boo.
AZ,
right.
please bless us and enlighten us.
What is this based on? What is Agatha all along?
The Witch's Road. Tell us about the Witch's Road, my boy.
Here's the thing,
stupid
right?
Fucking song from the
Agatha in the comics is not a significantly huge player.
She's not fine.
In earlier generations of comics, she's strongly tied to the origins of Wanda Maximoff and the Darkhold and Wundagore Mountain and Wundagore Castle, all that, right? She has closer ties towards the more mysticism part, but as opposed to bigger players like Clea or Doctor Strange, Brother Voodoo, etc., right? She's kind of a bit player. She's not super massively important. So this show is really giving us, a bit your insight to what I feel like Guardians was doing, a jumping off point to the more supernatural side of the MCU, because Doctor Strange does that, but now it's kind of just mirror dimension, and I do this with my finger. It's not really delving into that real.
Oh, I do that shit with my finger.
That too. Real arcane arts, kind of
Jesus Christ.
Kind of
Ask my girl. Ask my girl.
I don't want to because I'm going to get answers that are going to make me need therapy. So, but basically what I feel like this show is really going to be able to do is we're going to be able to see a lot more of the side of the supernatural of the MCU. And I was talking with my friend Dame earlier about it, and he's one who got me to really find interest in the show, because earlier when it was first announced a couple of years back, I didn't have any faith in the project at all. I was kind of done with Marvel. It was getting schlocky. WandaVision wasn't really hitting for me. So, a spin-off show about a character who's a villain I don't really care about, I didn't think was going to be anything. And then this trailer came out, and I was intrigued for 2 reasons. One, because when it starts, for some reason, she's a crime detective, right? And I was like,
that's just,
I had to refresh the video because I was like, I swear I didn't click on Law and Order. I don't know what the fuck this is. What is happening, right? And then they called her Agatha, and I was like, or like Detective Harkness, right? I was like, that's
They said detective. I said,
that's odd,
interesting.
right? I thought that was interesting, and I found it even crazier when shit started jumping around, and she started noticing something was a little bit off. I was like, oh, we're going full mind fuck with this one. Okay, I'm liking it.
Sorry to interject, because you remember at the end of WandaVision, when she stepped into her Scarlet Witch persona, she threw Agatha into the what's it called, that her own little hex, her mental prison
room,
or whatever, and she
infinite Tsukuyomi
went back to being the was it the 60s or 70s Agatha, or that old timey black and white Agatha. And I like how they showed her kind of glitching through different those different characters, different ages.
Yeah.
So continue. I didn't mean.
Oh, you're all good. You're all good.
I just think that's a great way to segue from WandaVision into this show, because it's supposed to. I guess it's supposed to follow up from.
Speaking
from right
of WandaVision, actually,
well, it's by the same writer, isn't it? The same creator, Jack Schaefer?
I hope to God not. I hope to God not.
It is Jack Schaefer.
Yeah, Jack Schaefer.
Mr. Subverting expectations. Go fuck yourself. No,
it's a woman.
It's a Mrs.
Richard Bones takes me the fuck off, man.
Okay, I'll see.
Nah, that was funny, bro.
That was so eye rolling.
You're a bitch.
Boner, trash ass.
But fuck. To continue about the trailer. So there's a point where it transitions where she's in a morgue all of a sudden. She doesn't really know how she got there, but she's looking at the corpse, and the body toe tag says Wanda Maximoff, and I was like, interesting. Then a voice off screen. It's like, you don't know where you are you? Or what's happening? And I was like, what is that? Who is that? And then it was the woman who I would let do terrible things to my body. I mean, like unconstitutional, Geneva violating convention. Like, I'm talking despicable. Aubrey Plaza.
No one man should have all that horny.
Look. Not only is she a beautiful, beautiful woman, but on top of that, she is a sensational fucking actress. Amazing. No. Luis, get off the hater cart for 1 second, because I'm going to tell you exactly why.
Yeah, let's hear it.
The moment where she starts like playing with Agatha's head and is being weird, like this cagey kind of character, we don't know what their deal is, what they're all about, what's their purpose or whatever. And she starts like fucking with Agatha. Right? I was like, are we doing a Legion? Are we doing a Legion? Because if we're doing a Legion, dude, I'm down. If we're doing a Legion, I'm fucking down. Legion is an incredible. If you haven't seen Legion, it's like an X-Men based show where they talk about David Haller, aka Legion, who's got like multiple personalities that basically can flip with his head. And the whole time throughout that series, Aubrey Plaza plays like this person who is like an embodiment of this entity called the Shadow King, and she's either real or she's not. She's kind of like fucking with Legion's head. And if she's doing anything like that in Agatha all along, I'm very excited to see. We see Agatha gathering a coven of witches for a purpose, either to break out of the hex or something else. We're not entirely, told everything up front. There's kind of some mystery. You get a nice little Evil Dead reference later on when they're in the cabin, and that girl just starts fucking breaking her bones and shit, which is really dope. Cool. Because I was like, oh, we're going full horror. I'm liking that. I'm liking
this trailer. This trailer did a good job, because this is a show that had absolutely no interest in whatsoever. I was like, why are we doing this? This is stupid. Spend your time and resources on something that actually fucking matters and that we care about. I watched this trailer, and it piqued my interest.
No,
I said this looks interesting, at the very least. Interesting. And whether they're trying to do something similar to WandaVision and they're playing with genre and different styles of filmmaking and all that stuff, I thought that was a really cool and neat aspect of WandaVision, and I liked it for the most part. I think the finale fumbled, but for the most part, I thought it was a pretty good show. If Jack Schaefer kind of has a more concise idea of what she wants to do with this show, and they let her have fun, and they let her kind of do it, looks cool. There's a really cool shot in the trailer where there's a devil, where there's like a satanic figure, and that shit looks scary as fuck. It looked really cool. Is it Mephisto? Who knows? But those are things that I find really cool about it. I think it looks pretty interesting. I'm interested to see what Jack Schaefer does. I love Catherine Hahn. I love Aubrey Plaza. it's like I think WandaVision has enough good grace to kind of let this show exist and see what we get out of it. And maybe we're in for a pleasant surprise. If Werewolf by Night is anything to go by, I think letting people do things with kind of lesser known characters and kind of storylines that haven't been explored in live action at all, I think is interesting. And kind of like I don't know. I just think it was a good trailer. I think it did what it was supposed to do. It got me interested when I wasn't. And so I'm locked in.
Also, I wanted to hit on like the Mephisto thing. So when WandaVision first aired, and people were trying to like guess things, right? And even in Loki, where they had that like small fucking half frame of a devil on the stained glass painting in the church, right? Mm-hmm. Mephisto is a character in Marvel Comics that is essentially the devil, but he's not, right? But he's basically like the closest thing. He's responsible for the existence of the Ghost Rider. He's responsible for one of the worst fucking Spider-Man stories I've ever read. He's the orchestrator of like a lot of like terrible events. And he's got this whole habit of where he'll make a deal with somebody for like some kind of caveat. Like they wish to be the best violinist in the world, but he takes their hands, exactly. Like he lets them like just shit like that, and then when they die, their soul goes to his realm, essentially hell, right? So I don't know particularly if that demon that they summoned or that is featured in the trailer, that weird monster thing, is Mephisto. If so, interesting choice to go straight up for like the Halloween decoration, like more monstrous devil appearance. I thought they were going to go more of like a CGI route, but it seems like they might go practical with it. So if that is Mephisto or some sort of like hell deity, like one of the Hell Lords in Marvel, I feel like that's pretty interesting. I feel like I'm interested to see where that goes. I also want to know, because I looked up the cast list, right? And it says that Aubrey Plaza is playing Rio Vidal.
Yeah.
And that's not any character I've ever heard of. So I thought it was like a play on words from this event in Marvel called Secret War, where there's this hidden figure that's, trying to stop the destruction of the multiverse and commanding like these legions, right? And they don't know who it is. And he goes by the name Rabim Malal, and it's Dr. Doom. And I thought that was a play on that. But then I was like, I don't know how they're really going to translate that, if that's what they're going for. So it's still a mystery to me as to not only who the other witches are, if they're of anyone of significance. I still have to look at the cast list again. But I definitely am excited to see the more supernatural and horror side of Marvel, to see that genre switch. It's going to be very interesting, because it's going to be what I thought we were getting with Multiverse of Madness.
That's exactly, what you just described is what I've been asking for. Marvel, and we're all comics enjoyers here, comic knowers. There's so many different sides of each comic universe. You can't just focus only on like the one element. There's the supernatural side, there's the superheroes, there's the cosmic side. There's all types of different genres within the genre that you have to touch on and explore every bit of it, and make sure that it interweaves with each other. You can't just expect to tell one story and leave this other story out, or try and tell two stories. That's an issue that DC had for a minute. That's an issue that the Foxverse had. They're trying to tell too many different stories, or tell one particular story without granted, copyrights and owning.
Well, that's already dead on
another
then.
thing. That's another
because
thing.
This is a spin-off of WandaVision, so it's already
diving into that mystical side, that more expansive on that mystical side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just doing like, oh, hey, this is a grounded universe. We're talking about a hero who uses hand-to-hand combat instead of some mystical supernatural powers, or this guy got imbued with the power of a superstar with supernova because he was out in space and that shit blew up his rocket ship, or something like that. I want to see different stories being told than our usual run-of-the-mill Marvel stories. So we shall see how Agatha.
Oh shit! I just looked up the cast list and I may have found something huge. So Sashir Zamata is playing a character,
Jennifer Kale,
and Jennifer Kale has ties to a cult that's essentially based off of like the rituals and ancient texts, like
the Zered
Na, yeah. And
what'd you call
the Zered Na has a base in the Florida Everglades with the Nexus of all realities. And the person who guards that Nexus is the fucking Man-Thing who we saw in Werewolf by Night. Oh my God, man thing is back, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I'm
She's
so
also
hyped.
She's also been part of the Midnight Suns.
She also has. I'm very excited.
Side note, I want Michael Giacchino to direct Midnight Suns if they go ahead and go with that.
Ah, that's a good.
I want him to do that because of you just mentioned Man Thing coming back, them diving more to the supernatural side of Marvel. Obviously, we're gonna get Ghost Rider eventually. I want Michael to handle it because he did so well with Werewolf by Night. He knows. Yeah. I feel like he knows how to handle that side of the MCU, the mythos and everything. So let him take control of the supernatural, spiritual side. Let him really dive into that. Let him get another show under his belt. Maybe a feature film. I would let him even get to that. We've seen what he can do. So let him cook. Let him cook.
I'm very excited for this. I'm actually dare I say?
Oh wow, you're excited
for a Marvel. Look, man. When I'm out, bro. Marvel.
They reel me back in. Yeah.
He's back in
bro. I'm
with their stinky, dirty little rusty claws. I'm locked.
I think we should wrap up after this, but we could do like a hype rating for the show. I think I'm at like a. For something I had no interest in.
Quick. Let's do a hype rating. Sorry to interrupt. Let's do a hype rating real quick for Agatha. Hype rating for excuse my burp there. My hype rating for what's that movie we just
Gladiator.
That trailer.
That movie.
I'm gonna put both of my ratings as an 8.5. Purely because they're both things that I didn't really have much interest in, and
normie.
I'm very excited. Very excited for both. The trailers really turned me around. That's pretty much it on that.
All right,
nice.
Gerardo, what you got?
For Gladiator, I'm at like a 7. I'm hyped. Ridley still failed me with the last Aliens movie. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know if his old ass still got it. I want to see.
He got it.
I'm hopeful.
He got it.
For Agatha, shit's at like a 3, bro. I don't give a fuck about this stuff. I do not fucking care. I don't care. The majority of Marvel fans don't care. What's going on with Secret Wars? What's going on with fucking Spider-Man, X-Men? Like, there's more important shit we could be spending money on than a fucking Agatha show. Okay, we don't care.
Not even from a horny perspective, Catherine Aubrey Plaza.
I love Aubrey Plaza as an actor. I don't care about her horny.
Whoa, that's crazy. They really lost the plot because not even the horny community is interested. Not even the Aubrey Plaza head.
That's one of the 4 quadrants.
It looks fine, but the last 3 or 4 Marvel shows looked fine, and they were all fucking dog shit. So I don't care.
Name them.
Secret Invasion.
Bullshit ass Captain America winter. Fucking
chill.
DEI America.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
I did.
That show was ass.
DEI,
what other show came out?
DEI.
Fucking,
in the mid-term.
I didn't like WandaVision, and then
it was good.
It was good.
It was good at being dog shit. You're right.
Yeah. The finale fucked it up, but it was good.
The whole show.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Not even what's her
Moon
face?
Knight.
Moon Knight was ass. Moon Knight was fucking ass.
Great Oscar Isaac performance. Dog shit CGI. Story was mid. And
dog shit action. Dog shit directing. Just dog shit all around. Waste of Ethan Hawke, honestly.
It was not good.
Cutting
out the fucking action. Just so you can be like, is the other one? Is Jake?
They died. It's off screen. We said there was going to be blood. There's blood in the background.
Show me that shit.
Let me save money because I'm not interested in action. The showrunner's a bitch. His mom's a bitch. His daddy's a bitch. His whole offspring, his whole fucking bloodline's a bitch.
He's making season 2 right now.
I hope he fucking dies in the middle of production.
God damn.
I don't care.
That's insane.
Ruining fucking Moon Knight for me is that's unforgivable.
7 and 3.
7 and 3, bro.
Wow,
Marvel right now.
A wild rating.
Matt,
I am not.
Luis, what you got,
shit.
bro? Luis, what you got? What's your rating?
Agatha all along. I think I'm a like a 7 hype because I wasn't interested at all. But I think that's a really good trailer. I'm curious to see will it be good? Probably not. Will it lead to nothing? Probably not. It's going to lead to another fucking spin-off show about the fucking witches and the mystic side of the MCU. Whatever, who gives a fuck? I'm not, But I went from not being interested at all to kind of being like, I'll check it out. Yeah. Gladiator is a 1,000 out of 10. That movie will not.
That's your highest rating. That's your highest rating to date, bro.
That movie is going to be amazing. Everyone in it is amazing. It's literally made for me. They literally said, "What movie will get?" I mean, any movie will get me in the theater mostly. But they were like, "Let's make the perfect movie for Luis." Gladiator 2, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal. I'm in.
Should call Gladiator 2 the Luis Glaze Fest because he about to glaze.
That movie's gonna be a 10 out of 10, even if the Gladiator. That movie's gonna be a 10 out of 10, regardless. I'm telling you right now, best movie of the year.
I can't wait for it to be mid.
It won't be.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm telling you right now. I'm
telling you right now. I know. I'm a Glenn Powell fanatic, and I said Twisters is going to be this year's Top Gun Maverick. Gladiator 2 is going to be this year's Top Gun Maverick. Thinking in terms of time frame, distance between the past film, the cast that we have, the director we have, everything about this movie is setting up to be fantastic. I know Twisters is going to be great. We are all going to be wearing our cowboy hats and riding tornadoes in that movie. But Gladiator 2, tornado. My fault. Tornadoes.
There you go. Tornadoes. Thanks.
Tornadoes. But Gladiator 2. I'm about to throw on the Canada accent. Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 2, fam.
You are sick to my stomach.
It's gonna brunch the box office, fam.
If you're good youths,
No, that's crazy. Someone ended
that shit is gonna be so good, bro. My hype for Gladiator 2 is definitely at like a 9, a solid 9 or 10. I just need a little bit more to push me to that 10, but it's like a 9.5.
You need to see Paul Mescal's dick. I get it. That'll get you to 10.
Agatha's an 8. Valid.
Agatha's an 8 because I want to see more of the mystic side. I want to see them introduce different elements. Introduce Ghost Rider. I don't know how they're going to tie that in, but I want to see them dive more into the mystical side of the MCU. I know they won't die. I know they won't tie it in for this, but just introduce more of the mystical side. Introduce Mephisto. Introduce Zarathos. All that stuff. This is stuff I want to see tied into the greater MCU. Yeah, because we're gonna get Deadpool here in a couple months, couple weeks, couple days. Actually, it's here next week. Or 2 weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks.
Mid.
Dog shit. I want to see how they play that shit.
I can't wait for you to be wrong.
And then we'll see.
It's going to be ass. Where's Deadpool?
Real quick. Even though that movie may or may not be good, but you know what is good? Following Backstage OL, so you get caught up on all things Hollywood. Tapping with our boys. David couldn't make it tonight because he's out there in Houston. Let's go ahead and send up all our good energy to our folks out there in the H. Hurricane Barrel just rolled through. Hope everyone gets their power. Barrel.
I mean, they named that motherfucker Daryl?
Barrel.
Barrel.
Gerardo jumped on because he got some type of secret code for the power supply. He got a plug for the energy.
Energy plug.
The energy plug.
I powered my battery with my hands like Kevin Gates.
He said, kill him today.
Today.
He said, right now, today.
So hopefully David can jump on in the future and explain more Backstage OL because they have so much good stuff going on. Tap in with them on all social media at Backstage OL. That will be on the description of the episode. Follow our boy, the all-knowing AZ at twitch.tv/TariSingo. Tap in with him on Twitch. Got good stuff going on there. Also follow him on all their platforms at TariSingo. So you can see what great stuff he's got coming up.
YouTube, especially, we got a Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe story breakdown dropping tomorrow. So watch that,
bro,
or don't.
And you know, AZ Night.
Yesterday.
I know I've probably said this.
Now we do it.
I know I've probably said this before on a previous episode. AZ and I go back to college. I know this man is talented. I know this man knows his stuff. Please tap in. If you like Rob from Comics Explained, you're gonna love AZ.
You're gonna like me. You're gonna like me, Lee. I don't want to say love.
I said love. Fuck what you talking about. You're gonna love AZ. Shut the fuck up. You're gonna love AZ.
Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch.
AZ and I go back to college. AZ knows his stuff. He's cooking. So please tap in. And with that being said, you guys, another thrilling episode is in the books. Huge thanks to everyone who tuned in today. Keep the excitement going by following us on all platforms at Cinestro Core. That's going to be down there in the ticker with an A. We've got an epic lineup coming up that you do not want to miss. Remember to smash that MF like and subscribe button so you never, ever miss a beat. Show us some love by leaving us a stellar 5-star review wherever you catch this podcast. Spread the word about our podcast and YouTube channel far and wide. Share it with your family, your friends, your entire network, your homeboys, all that. Your support means the entire world to us. And until next time, you guys stay awesome. We'll catch you on the next exciting episode of the Cinestro Core. Peace out.